My name is Jen Kellogg. I'm the tour accountant for the Vans Warped Tour. I also teach a class at Columbia College in Chicago called Producing and Touring Live Performances. I got my start when I was in college at the University of Iowa. I remember the moment being in my dorm room where I saw the newspaper advertisement that the concert committee was hiring for the next year, and one of the positions they were hiring for was in finance, and I was a finance major. And it was this magical moment that I realized that there was a job in the music industry that was what I wanted to do. My interests in math and numbers and the things that I was good at were needed alongside something that I loved. So I was fortunate enough to get hired onto the concert committee, and we had to be responsible for setting the right ticket price and offering the right amount of money for the artist to actually make money on the show so that we would have more money to risk on future shows. We didn't just have a pile of money to throw at bands. So it was real world experience. When I graduated from college, I knew it was going to be hard to get a job in the music industry and that it typically didn't pay well. And so I figured I should at least try to get a typical finance major job. I interviewed with 2 companies, one of which was a bank. It was a position for being a credit analyst in middle market lending. And I told myself, all right, if they offer me X amount of money, that's more money that as a college student I can ever fathom making. If they offer me that much money, I will take it and give it a try. I got offered what I thought was the ridiculous amount of money. In hindsight, it's kind of like a funny amount. But so I took the job. I wore a suit every day, and I lasted about 6 months in the banking world before I said, I cannot do this. I'm so far away from any intrinsic reward in this job. So 6 months into it, I was just like, this is not for me. Got to get back into rock and roll. I got in touch with the advisor for the concert committee, and he put me in touch with some people at Jam Productions in Chicago who happened to be hiring for their accounting office. I knew all along that I wanted to be more on site and not in an office. I wanted to work at the events. But I didn't really know exactly what that was. So I thought I wanted to be a production manager, and then when I got into the details of that, it was clear that that wasn't exactly the thing for me. Then there was a position open as a talent buyer, and so I fought my way to get into that job. So we were a team that bought for theaters and arenas, and especially minor league baseball parks. Bob Dylan and Willie Nelson wanted to go out and do something very Americana, and so Don Sullivan, who I worked with, put together this tour of minor league baseball parks. So that was really my first tour that I was out on. And then after that, it was really exciting to be part of making those deals happen from the beginning and have the relationship with the venues. To then follow through with that and then be on the tour and then get to see it happen was very fulfilling. So there were certainly aspects of being a talent buyer that I loved, but being on the road was where it was at for me. Figuring out whether or not we should take a risk on a show is not something that I enjoy doing, but that is a key element of being a talent buyer. So turned out being a talent buyer wasn't exactly the right job for me. That's fine. I tell people, always enjoy what you're doing, but be working towards the next thing. So I left Jam to be on the road exclusively and be a tour accountant and do the parts of the talent buying job that I really loved, which was being on the road and handling the financial aspects of the shows. And that's essentially what a tour accountant does. So I had done a couple of other tours before I landed with the Warped Tour, but this is definitely my home now, and it's like a family out here. It's my 6th year on this tour. It's happened to be a perfect fit in my life, that I've been able to go on the road in the summer and for a while be a stay-at-home mom the rest of the year and balance life and family in a way that wouldn't have worked for me if I had had a full-time year-round job. And now that's kind of led me into the next thing that I love, sharing my knowledge and expertise in this industry with the new and up-and-coming professionals. So teaching has been very fulfilling for me in the same way that concerts were at the very beginning, when the lights go down and the crowd goes wild. It's very fulfilling in the same way that I can see explaining something to people and have them get it and have them be able to use that in their life and in their career, that knowledge. It makes me feel great that I can help people better themselves.